Welcome back to Depraved and Debaucherous. Is it overeating or overthinking that might be two of the reasons that might make you feel depressed? There's two stories to talk about it. You are what you eat. You've heard that phrase many times. You might have heard that in a Schoolhouse Rock ad if you're old enough like I am. So there's new research now that's linking nutrition with mental health. The points they bring up here is how we eat is important not only for physical health, but for our emotional and mental well-being. Understanding how nutrition and depression play out for large groups of people is important for understanding best practice. And research is identifying 4 classes of nutritional status correlated with depression, and that optimizing our nutrition will be helpful in preventing and alleviating symptoms of depression. So if you needed some reason to lose weight, it's that. But we already kind of know this because it's our depression that makes us want to eat. We binge eat because we're depressed. I know it because I've done it many times. So what we eat has a direct effect in terms of nutritional richness, affecting interrelated factors like gut bacteria, energy metabolism, and your effect on memory and cognition, which is sometimes subsumed under the rubric of nutritional psychiatry. So eating and nutrition are a critical aspect of social behavior, breaking bread, and for many reasons, social life is integral to health as our individual efforts, adding a layer of nuance to food choices. Well, think about it like this. How often, when you want to binge and you want to stuff yourself, how often are you doing that in front of people? You normally do that in front of people that you normally enable. I mean, how often, when you're guilty and you're eating, are you doing it in front of family and friends that you know would absolutely say something to you if you did that? Because I know I used to hide. I used to eat in the car all the time. Not to eat in the car all the time still, but I would just have so much. And, eat between meals and find snacks or just sneak them in the room, whatever that kind of stuff was. We do all that. That's what you do when you're fat and you start gaining a lot of weight. It's because you do that. And it is because of depression. Many times it's that way. But if you were in front of somebody and, everybody's not eating as much as you are, one of the things I remember was one time having dinner with some friends. I remember how quickly I finished off my plate. I mean, I just inhaled it. And everybody else is still eating. I'm like, well, but I did. So that's one of the things they talk about. That there are studies out there that social life is integral to health as our individual efforts, adding a layer of nuance to food choices, and easier to be healthy when we partner with others to achieve our goals. But then the problem is here, what they say about that is that, then we already have that feeling if we're already fat. And then we're going to have somebody try to tell us they need to go and they're going to work with us, and we're going to feel like that pity of like, oh, look, you're the fat kid that, your skinny friends want to help out. We don't want to have that. We don't want it. When you're fat, that's not what you want for the most part. So there are two sides of this nutritional well-being coin. One is how poor eating habits and consuming junk food negatively affects health. And the other is how enlightened eating, or food as medicine, can enhance health and longevity while preserving and enhancing pleasure. Right. It's the hardest lesson to make. And many people out there will probably know that lesson, but the problem is we don't want to do it. Okay? Is that food is supposed to be fuel. It's supposed to be what you put in your body is to help you function. But unfortunately, we all enjoy food for the taste and how it makes us feel full, right? But that's what it is. And, watch enough TikTok videos is going to make you want to eat fried chicken and whatever else you want to put on with cheeses and sauces and just drown it, right? So there was a recent article on NPR talking about a coordinated multi-pronged approach with 7 elements. Treat food as medicine, number 1. 2, focus on quality of calories, not just quantity. 3, expand access to dietary and lifestyle counseling. 4, support food entrepreneurs. 5, increase the number of new farmers growing healthy foods using regenerative farming techniques. 6, make school meals free for all students. And 7, hire a federal food czar. I'm not going on all this part, but number 1 is right. Treat food as medicine. And it's kind of hard to do that. It's more importantly, if people are getting into this and they're saying, man, if you're realizing that it keeps you depressed, as long as you do the habit of continuing to gain weight and you're just eating a healthy diet of food. Then it's going to continue to keep you depressed. And that's just going to make it more of an issue to motivate yourself to move around and do something about it. And I don't disagree with that. Right now, I'm back into a diet. I'm back into a calorie deficit again. And I'm trying to lose weight again. Now, don't get me wrong. It's not like I'm going to lose weight because I gained back. Because I went through a regimen where I lost 90 pounds. Yeah, I put 20 pounds back. But so far, those 20 pounds, I've taken off 10. And now I get back to that original 10, after I get these next 10 pounds to get off. Then it's new territory. It's back to where I was at maybe in 15 years ago. And then if things work out, I might be able to be in the weight I was in high school, if possible, if that can even happen. So these are the things I look at. Now, another story talks about maybe it's not just overeating that is also the cornerstone of depression, it's overthinking. So our perception of time can also affect our non-clinical depression. So college students thinking about past events predicted depressive symptoms. Yeah, when we think about high school, we think about being bullied, we think about how, we didn't get to go out with the guy or girl in high school. Like, that was my issue. Like, that really triggered me. Where there were girls I wish I could have gone out with in high school, but I didn't have the guts to, and I didn't want to get picked on, and I didn't want them to get picked on, and I didn't know what I was doing in the first place. So when that happens, then it's like regretting. And realizing maybe there were some girls I could have gotten together with if I would have just had the guts, but I didn't. And non-college students thinking about present events predicted depressive symptoms. Now, if you didn't know this, 16.1 million Americans each year suffer from major depressive disorder, which includes lack of motivation, loss of interest in previously enjoyed activities, negative thought processing, and self-defeating content. So one of the issues that you might have if you're depressed and you're dealing with major depressive disorder is rumination, overthinking, focusing on negative content, past and present, resulting in emotional distress. And depressed persons typically ruminate more frequently than non-depressed persons. So you're negative, you're wallowing, you're cynical, all of that. And since depression is highly correlated with overthinking, there was a study to check if depressive symptoms are influenced by other cognitive processes, such as working memory. They found out that with college students, this overthinking and past negative scores predicted depressive symptoms. And non-college students, that overthinking about present events predicted depressive symptoms. So if we don't ruminate, initiate. You can't just wallow and drown in your sorrows. You have to pick yourself back up in order to get yourself out of that depression. So I leave you with that point. And I tell you that, it's better to not be depressed, and you're better off being depraved and debaucherous.